This is All India Radio. In Spotlight, now we bring you a special program celebrating radio on the occasion of National Broadcasting Day. This program is scripted and presented by Lucy Gabriel Chattopadhyay, AIR correspondent.
Ever since its invention, radio has made it possible for people from all corners of a city, country and the world to be part of historical movements, speeches, events and developments. The one and only one voice for the citizens of India has always been All India Radio, reaching out to almost every household across the length and breadth of the country. The journey of radio began in India in June 1923, when Bombay Presidency Club and other clubs started radio broadcasting. All India Radio began its journey as a private company called Indian Broadcasting Company Limited, IBC, on July 23, 1927. This is the reason why July 23rd is celebrated as National Broadcasting Day. Now, the National Broadcasting Day is an annual event observed on July 23rd in India. The day aims to remind Indian citizens about the impact of radio on our lives. In fact, radio is the mass medium that reaches the widest audience in the world. The Indian Broadcasting Company Limited, IBC, was eventually taken over by the British Raj and transformed into All India Radio on June 8, 1936. The name Akashvani, which means voice or announcement from the skies, was formally adopted for the national broadcaster in 1956 with the motto Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya. And there couldn't be a better day to recall the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore's composition, the poem entitled Akashvani, written in 1938 on the inauguration of the Calcutta shortwave transmission, as noted by historian Chandrika Kaul.
Hark to Akashvani upsurging from here below. The earth is bathed in heaven's glory, its purple glow. Across the blue expanse is firmly planted the altar of the Muse. The lyre unheard of light is throbbing with human hues. From earth to heaven, distance conquered, in waves of light flows the music of man's divining. Fancy's flight to east and west, speech careers. Swift as the sun, the mind of man reaches heaven's confines, its freedom won.
I'm sure all those listening to us at the moment would have recalled this tune. It must have given some goosebumps as this sweet signature tune takes you down the memory lane of All India Radio. It was Czech composer Walter Kosman who composed the opening signature tune of All India Radio based on Raga Shivaranjani of Indian classical music. In many ways, All India Radio has been a chronicler and preserver of history, with the first speeches of freedom fighters, national events, first music compositions, drama, commentaries, loads of it in the archives today. As we celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, let's listen to the speech that was of great inspiration for many freedom fighters across the country. Both the Azad Hind Radio of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and the Congress Radio helped rouse Indians against the British before independence. Here is an excerpt of the speech of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose of 1943.
हमने जो आजादी की लड़ाई छेड़ रखी है, उसे तब तक जारी रखना होगा जब तक हमें मुकम्मल आजादी हासिल न हो। विभिन्न दिशाओं में बिखरी सारी ताकत जितना शीघ्र हम केंद्रित कर सकेंगे, उतना ही जल्द हम आजादी हासिल कर सकेंगे।
Most of us brush aside the music that good old radio can bring into our lives. Back in the days, even owning a radio was a matter of pride. Until the advent of television, radio was a prime source of entertainment. Many All India Radio listeners still recall those days when the radio broadcasted a coherent mix of news, soothing music, drama, cricket commentaries and gripping topical talks. The voice of Melvin DeMello, an iconic and most celebrated broadcaster of All India Radio, reverbs in the mind even today. He was best known for his non-stop 7-hour commentary on Mahatma Gandhi's last journey in 1948.
Now as the flames begin to lick, a roar goes up from the crowds. Now the fire is caught and more people sandalwood are being placed. Garlands being flung into the air. Policemen's sticks being raised to try and keep the crowds down. We're trying to move in closer to get a last glimpse of the father of our nation.
The radio was used to bring the wars of 1962, 1965 and 1971 to our living rooms. It is voices of these people, particularly Surajit Sen, Melvin DeMello and Neil Batra, which not just informed you but which even in that very sober way gave you a bit of the excitement or the touching aspect of the war. Surajit Sen, the man who documented the December 16, 1971 signing of Declaration of Independence of Bangladesh. The sports commentator and All India Radio's chief newsreader was the first Indian to report the liberation of East Bengal, now Bangladesh, on December 16, 1971.
I was in Calcutta when they flew me from here and they dropped me, find your way. And I was stuck near the Red Fort. And I said, I want to see the general. Then they said, there's no plane going. This is only an ammunition plane. And that'll be going tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. You've got to get in the plane. And that's how I went with an ammunition plane. No seat, nothing. But all the ammunition being taken to Bangladesh at the time. It was a thrill, the excitement to know what it is like.
Here is another nostalgic memory to share this evening from the entertainment world. The iconic voice of Amin Siani, a great entertainer and newsreader. In 2009, he was presented with the Padma Shri Award, tells us when and how he got into All India Radio.
ये बहुत पुरानी बात है। मैं करीब 9 साल का था तब मेरे बड़े भाई मरहूम हमीद सायानी साहब, जो मेरे गुरु रहे हैं ब्रॉडकास्टिंग में, वो मुझे ऑल इंडिया रेडियो के बॉम्बे स्टेशन में ले गए थे। और उन दिनों शुरू में वो वायर रिकॉर्डर जिसे कहते हैं ना, तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि तुम अपनी आवाज इसमें रिकॉर्ड करके खुद सुनो। तो पहली बार जब इंसान अपनी आवाज सुनता है ना, हम तो अंदर से सुनते हैं आवाज, बाहर से नहीं सुनते। इसलिए जो वायर रिकॉर्डर पर रिकॉर्ड करके फिर मुझे अपनी आवाज सुनाई गई तो मैं चौंक पड़ा कि भाई ये मेरी आवाज है। अच्छी लगी आप? बिल्कुल अच्छी लगी और तब से भाई मेरा नाता जुड़ गया।
He also shares his experience and the changes that took place during his time, giving out some tips on the usage of easy language in radio communication.
हम कहाँ बैठे थे? दूरदर्शन केंद्र के वेटिंग रूम में जी। वहाँ एक बहुत बड़ा बोर्ड लगा हुआ है जिस पर लिखा हुआ है कि सरल हिंदी का प्रयोग करें। तो भाई भाषा वो होनी चाहिए कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, एक ऐसे माध्यम के लिए जिससे कि आप किसी तक पहुंचने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। भाषा वो होनी चाहिए जो ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग समझें।
As we explore explore the veteran world of iconic broadcasters. Our newsreader Devkinandan Pandey cannot be left behind, whose newsreading motivated a whole generation.
न्यूज पढ़ना मेरे लिए नई चीज जरूर थी, तो अब ये भी एहसास था कि इतने लोग सुन रहे होंगे, घर वाले भी सुन रहे होंगे, तो उस हिसाब से एक्साइटमेंट था। और कभी कभी तो एक्साइटमेंट ऐसा बढ़ा कि अगर आप अपना कान मेरे दिल के पास ले जाते तो आपको धड़कन भी सुनाई देगी। हमारा मुल्क तो आप जानते हैं इतना बड़ा मुल्क और गांवों का मुल्क है, तो वहां तो रेडियो की उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंस आज भी है जितनी पहले थी, उसमें कोई कमी नहीं आई। अब ये दूसरी बात है कि धीरे धीरे टेलीविजन उन्हें भी खा जाए, उन पर भी हावी हो जाए, मगर उसमें अभी बहुत वक्त लगेगा।
On 6 September 1990, the Indian Parliament passed the Prasar Bharati Broadcasting Corporation of India Act. The purpose behind the act was to give the broadcaster more autonomy and freedom like in many other countries. Prasar Bharati has 470 broadcasting centers across the country, covering approximately 92% of the country's area and 99.19% of the total population. The outreach can simply be assessed from the fact that All India Radio broadcasts program in 23 languages and 179 dialects. Accurate, unbiased, credible news is its forte, as it broadcasts 607 news bulletins in 92 languages, dialects including 12 foreign languages. Leveraging technology, AIR has evolved with its digital footprints. On Twitter, AIR News Alerts has more than 3 million followers. News on Air mobile app has more than 1 million subscribers. On this app, you can listen to all the radio channels of All India Radio in digital form. Now, radio can be enjoyed even by connecting directly to the internet. During natural disasters, the role of public service broadcaster becomes even more relevant. Be it tsunami or Cyclone Fani or Bhuj earthquake, radio has been the mainstay for the people. Many people compare the pandemic we are still experiencing to a crisis situation. Millions affected, global involvement, and new kinds of crises and emergencies. In the COVID-19 context, the radio played a major role in helping people feel less alone and closer to each other. True to its mandate of Bahujan Hitaya, All India Radio worked round the clock and in fact doubled the transmission of its news bulletins to allay fears in the minds of the people and make them aware about the healthcare facilities. Mask nahi to tokenge.
Mask nahi to tokenge, corona ko rokenge, chalo इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, चलो मिलकर साथ संभलते हैं, नई सच्चाई में ढलते हैं, सावन को अपनाएंगे, धोएंगे हाथ और धुलाएंगे, बखरी खरे ना देखेंगे, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे.
Amid a global pandemic, radio showed and continues to show its flexible ease of use for everyone. In today's time, we have many resources. But even today, the craze for radio remains in the hearts of the people.
You were listening to a special program celebrating radio on the occasion of National Broadcasting Day. This program was scripted and presented by Lucy Gabriel Chattopadhyay, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.